Hello everyone, Yensid Organist here, and welcome to another episode of OrgelCraft. Hope you guys are having a great day today. Last week we were working on the greenhouse portion of our Land Pavilion here, and that is what we are going to be continuing work with today. But before we do this, I need a little bit of a break from this, and I've been thinking about finishing a project that was started at the beginning of the season, which is our crater over here. And I have been slowly going through the process of terraforming on live streams and just kind of restoring this to something that actually looks like, natural-ish terrain. We're obviously saying that, there was a gigantic meteor that crashed here. But since then, nature has kind of reclaimed the area. Obviously, we have all these circles in here, but when you look over here, completely disappears once you have all the trees and grasses and rocks and things like that. So my goal has been to terraform the entirety of this, and then we actually do need to add a I don't know what to call it, but we need a building here, as part of this starport where we can have our nether portal and be able to get up from the ground and all of that, although the nether portal will probably move up to this height. But, yeah, so I want to make a go at trying to finish this. Now, I realize I have a quarter of it done, and there's a lot left over. However, I've been approaching the problem backwards. I've been starting by putting the trees in and then doing the bone mealing and doing the grass, and I've been so annoyed and gotten so not frustrated, but kind of fed up and bored with the project when I've been bone mealing, because it's really hard to work through and bone meal and see where you've been and see where you still need to be and all of that with the trees in place. And I realized after the last time I worked on this project, oh yeah, why don't you bone meal first? So I think that if I start by bone mealing and then add the trees, I think this process will go a lot faster. So that's what we are going to do to start out. And my plan is kind of to do, carry this kind of forest over to here. So probably most of this quarter. And then I think I'm going to carry this over to where I have this little spillover here and pond. And then this section over here, I'm going to extend the dark oak forest to the best of my ability. I'm not sure how that's going to work with how steep it is, but we'll see. And we'll make it work. So, it's been a little while since we've done one of these. Let's jump into a time lapse. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the time lapse. Our crater is finished, and I am very happy with how it turned out. I definitely got a little lazy as I went through, but I think that it looks kind of good, that we are transitioning the different forests as they're coming together, and they get a little bit sparser as they go. So, yeah. Had a suggestion on the stream of adding some cherry trees in, and I think they look really, really nice in there. Yeah. Obviously, we're not done with this crater because I haven't taken care of the ground level here, and we need a building that's going to go over here on this side. But that is a project that we are going to save for another day because we are going to be continuing work on our pavilion here, trying to get this finished in this episode. Inside and outside, which is going to be a bit of a challenge, but we will see. So let's start here. So I had envisioned this area as being a place where I could have villagers basically automatically harvesting and replanting crops for me. And carrots? I didn't give you carrots. Why are there carrots in here? Yeah, so, anyway, this is not going to work because, they plant, or they will harvest the wheat, but they turn it into bread. So we are actually going to convert this cropland to potatoes. This guy's going to be really not upset. Oh, I'm sorry. I did not mean to hit you, but maybe you don't walk in front of me. Yeah, he is not going to be amused with me and is probably going to try to replant all of this. But no, we're doing potatoes. Potatoes. So it's probably going to take a little bit of time to get him converted over to this. Plus, I'm going to need the crops to grow and all of that. So, but I think this will work to do potatoes. And then on the other side of this, I will do I'll do wheat, and then I'll just manually harvest that as we go. In the meantime, I'm just going to chuck all the potatoes at this guy and let him deal with that. Okay. All right. I just jumped on farmland, didn't I? Yes, I did. Fortunately, I have all the stuff. Yeah, you thought you were going to plant something else there, didn't you? So, what I want to do to start working on all of this stuff is I want to work on getting these sections of the greenhouse done. And one of the things that I want to do here, and let's see, we can just go ahead and fill this in with something. I can do this. There we go. So, one of the things that they do in these greenhouses is they have these vegetable trees. So they do, basically what they do is they plant something, and then they have like a network of like ropes that it grows to on top, and they kind of turn them into trees, and so all of the vegetables end up growing down. And it's a really cool thing that they do, and I thought that we would be able to recreate something like that here in Minecraft. So let's do this. Yeah, let's go there. And then what we're gonna do, and I need to figure out how high I want this, so maybe we can do like this. So you can place flower pots on top. Is that gonna be high enough? Yeah, I think that'll be good. And then what we'll do is we'll put cactus in each of these. Gives us a nice green stem to work with. And then on the top we can place, maybe, let's do it this way. We are going to have moss carpet that is going to be representative of our vines. It's not going to be a perfect way of doing this, but it will work. Now, I need a block that I can break easily. Let's see. Do I really not have any dirt here? Stone will work. Okay. So, now, you may have seen this before, I don't know. But, so we can actually get moss carpet to be suspended by glow lichen. And in order to do that, is this, I think that's going to need to come there. Yep, there we go. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to build up a bit of a framework here. And let's go, let's see, that's 3. How big is that? That's, yeah, I think that will be big enough. So what we want to do is we're going to place a big box of, just temporary blocks here, and we went 3, right? Yep, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I've run out, but that's fine, because I'll just grab a couple from over here, because we'll be able to reuse these. I need 2 more. So then what we do is we are going to take our glow lichen and we're going to place in a 2x2 like this. And then we can come along and replace the glow lichen up there with carpet. And then what we'll do is we will come along here and we will place it on the bottom of the carpet. And then we'll just go through, break all of these blocks. And now, the glow lichen is supporting the moss carpet, and the moss carpet is being held up by the glow lichen. Did I just say the same thing? The moss carpet is being held up by the glow lichen, and the glow lichen is hanging from the moss carpet. There we go. And so then, all we're going to do is we're just going to repeat this process all the way along. Where did that go? That was weird. And we will be able to have... throwing my stuff away. Yeah, so we will be able to have this nice little canopy here. So let me do that real quick. And there we go. Now, I will warn you that this does waste a decent amount of glow lichen, but I think that the payoff is worth it. Why do I feel like this? 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is not wide enough. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix that, but we'll deal with that in a minute. So then what's cool about this is you have the ability to replace the glow lichen with other things. Let's see, where did I put my other stuff? Yes, so for instance, we can come here and we can have some rooted dirt that will now go in there. And this could be, you know, like stuff that's like getting ready to grow or something like that. But then what we can do is we can actually grow some plants up here. So what I want to do, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to be careful where I do this. So we're going to do 1, 2. Let's go in maybe here. And then what we're going to do is we can place a melon right there. And then on top of that, I think I can place this like that. Yeah, so we can have a twisting vine there, which is the kind that comes out of the floor. Doesn't quite connect if you look closely, but we're not going to look too closely. And so then it looks like you have a melon that is growing from the network of vines on top of that. So we'll be able to put several of those in there. And then I'll probably do something in the corners. I don't know if we'll do like maybe some fence posts or, you know, have something to kind of connect it to the sides here so that it has a little bit more support. But yeah, so those are going to be our trees, and yeah, I think this is a cool way to do this. So I'm going to do a couple of these around here. So I think we'll do one for melons, and maybe we'll do one for pumpkins. Typically they do things like eggplant and tomato. Well, we don't have those, so we have to make do with what we have here in Minecraft. But yeah, so I'm going to get to work on this section here and getting in our wheat farm over there. And yeah, I'll bring you guys back when that stuff is done. I have been watching entirely too much Decked Out 2 on Hermitcraft. I came in here and thought this was a Ravager. Yeah, I came in here because I was looking for something that I was using in the last episode, looked over here and was like, why is there a Ravager in here? Yeah, it's not a Ravager. It's my buffalo that I made. Anyway, welcome back, everyone. So the first two sections of this part of the greenhouse are complete. So as you come in to your right, we've got some grasses that are growing here. You have this little pagoda that's displaying different things that are grown here, and then we've got some trees in the background there. Of course, we have our watermelon tree that we built together in the last clip. And then over here I have a pumpkin tree, a little bit smaller. But yeah, that is looking good. Over here, I think I have managed to convince this guy to only plant and harvest potatoes. I went through and ripped out all of the wheat and the carrots and threw potatoes at him. We're doing potatoes now, right? Just potatoes. Good job. And it looks like you replanted potatoes, so good job. There you go. Have some potatoes. I do have my wheat growing over here. Now, you might notice that I have not filled in the entire area. Well, this is a little bit of an Easter egg, which you actually can't see. So, this is a place in the greenhouse where they grow lettuce, and they have these... I don't know what they're called, but they have these little planters that slope at an angle, and then they plant like two different types of lettuce so that there are different colors, and they're always a little bit of a hidden Mickey, and so they either show Mickey Mouse or there's like a word that is written. So this I actually did as a little homage to that. You can maybe kind of tell right here with this one. But if we pop into FreeCam, you will see it spells out Epcot. Minecot didn't fit, and I couldn't get a hidden Mickey to look right, so it says Epcot, and that I thought would be a fun little Easter egg for this area. So coming along, hello. So the next thing I want to work on is these two sections here at the end, and there's two different things that I want to do. So on this side, they have these like vertical growing systems. Basically, they're these planters that hang from the roof, and they grow like different herbs off of there. And it kind of goes around in the circle and gets water and all of that. Basically, it's stuff, they actually grow plants without soil, which is kind of cool. We can't do that, but I have an idea that I think is going to work, that will look cool. And then over here they have an aquaponics thing where they have a fish tank below, and then they have plants growing up above. Basically, the fish fertilize the plants provide food for the fish. So that is what we're going to do there. They also usually have like a little experimental section here. So, not entirely sure. Oh, this is where our sniffer plants could go. A little bit on display. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to get to work on this, and I will bring you guys back when that is done. Welcome back, everyone. Made a couple changes around here. I added some more greenery to a couple of different areas. Also went through and added a little bit of sneaky lighting, so that this place is now spawn-proof. Yeah, but so here is the final room. So this is our vertical soil-free plant growing system. So basically, you know, they come around. This is a conveyor belt, or it would be a conveyor belt. And then they get watered as they go through this little passage in there. So we have all of that going around. Got some flowers and just some extra greenery dotted around here. And then over here we have our aquaponic area. So I've got some fish in there, and you can see we have the roots hanging down. I was very excited to discover that the roots from rooted dirt actually are able to be waterlogged, unlike a lot of plants. So that was really kind of cool. And then we got some beetroot growing up top there. We got some tulips here. This is my experimental flower section. So as you can see, we have the torch flowers and the pitcher plants. Over here, I took a I took a page out of Scar's book and used some coral as different flowers on here, and I thought this was a really nice effect. And then we have our lab over here, complete with lab tech. Yeah, so I was struggling to come up with something that was like not Minecraft-y, something that looked like, technologically advanced and all of that. And I think we did pretty well. So we have, some iron trapdoors as some workstations, and then we have various different plants growing. There's some bookshelves up there. I finally used the chiseled bookshelves and really excited about that. Brewing stands, working with, different, types of, chemicals, fertilizer, things to make plants grow better, natural stuff. I don't know. And then, of course, we have our technician here, who I have named Dr. Nigel Channing, which has nothing to do with this, but has everything to do with Epcot. So, the reason I went with a zombie is because it's kind of hard to see because he's standing behind the vines there, but up there you can see he's able to hold a clipboard, plus I was able to put him in a uniform, so he has his white lab coat on. But I thought that would be nice to have some kind of movement in there. And so he wanders around and checks on the plants and checks on the door, which he can't get out of, and I don't have any concrete. I think that I have some over. I do not. There's supposed to be couple of blocks of white concrete behind the door so that it looks like it goes somewhere, but it doesn't actually go anywhere. So so that is that. This is gonna make a mess if I go up there. It's fine. Nope. I need my block back. Thank you. Okay. All right. So these greenhouses are done, and I think the addition of some greenery. I went back and watched a ride through again, and there was a lot more plants in the area. So I think adding the greenery really kind of helped to fill in that space. So all that's left to do now is this last room, and so we'll get a bunch of little trees growing in here. There are some water features that are going to be put in place, and will feature all kinds of different plants. And in honor of Scar, we'll do a little bit of a spin around, and there we have our last greenhouse. So not the best angle there. So let's I don't think I have a boat in my inventory, so let's walk through. So you come in here, and we have this big custom tree as the central feature, and then we've got some bushes and some grasses all along here. We got a whole bunch of different varieties of trees in the back. You come over and get a better view of the tree. We come around here, we have a couple of water features. So we have a pond here with various aquatic plants, and then we have the same thing on the other side. We got a little waterfall, sugarcane growing here, the small drip leaf in there. A couple of custom little palm trees here. These are banana trees in the ride. This was as close as I could get. But I was able to get those tucked in there. And there we go. It's hard to get a good view of the whole room. This is pretty good. So, So that is our last greenhouse, and that is pretty much our interior of the pavilion done. So we need to finish off the last little section here. So I need to, this is basically just going to be black walls. I'm going to do a little bit of a mosaic here. And then we need to do a big mosaic along this wall. It's basically, this is painter of like a farmer and, a farmland and all of that. I'm not planning to do anything that crazy. I'm going to try to do a mosaic with what's it called? The glazed terracotta, and I think that will look nice. Yeah, and then we'll need to work on designing the show building and the entrance to this. So, yeah, so let me get to work finishing up the ride here, and then I will bring you guys back, and we will do a full ride through. Welcome back, everyone. Our ride is finished. The build's not done, but the ride is. So, I was playing around with some mosaic patterns and came up with this, and I really like this. So we've got the brown glazed terracotta that is kind of like the dirt or the soil. This lime terracotta is like plants that are growing. And then the white and the light blue representing sun and sky. So I think that actually turned out really, really nice. And we have the transitions to the actual portion of the ride. So let's go ahead and let us take our first official ride on our Land Pavilion ride. And I'm just going to not narrate any of this and let you enjoy. There we go. So that is the first time I have ridden through the entire thing as well. So we got to do that together. There's a couple of things that I want to do. I want to go through and I want to swap out some of the black concrete in a few places like we did in the greenhouses over here. our circular greenhouse needs some lighting. I realized I have none in there. And then I also wanted a couple of accent pieces of glazed terracotta in here. So I will have to get that all put in place at some point. But we'll leave that for a little bit later because there's still a lot to do. And so we need the show building for this next. And what I'm kind of thinking I want to do is, and let me put a picture on screen for you right now. So this Land Pavilion is kind of centered around a food court that is called the Sunshine Seasons, I think is what it's called. And they have, it's basically like a food court you go through. There's lots of different options for things you can get to eat. And so what I kind of want to do is I kind of want to somewhat emulate that. I think that I want something here where I have the ability to come and basically get any kind of food that I could ever possibly want. And so I'm thinking to have maybe an automatic chicken cooker and, cow farm, pig farm, and basically have all the different food items that are available in-game, available here, should I ever want them. I mean, I have an unlimited source of cooked cod, so I'm probably good with food, but just to be able to have it, should I ever want it. So I think what I want to do is I think I want to lay out an area here where this is going to be. And I'm by no means at this point trying to recreate the rest of the pavilion. I'm just trying to create a little bit of a space here so that we can figure out where our show building is going to go. So once I get that laid out, then I'm probably going to lay out at least the foundation for the show building. And then probably I think the next step will be terraforming so that we can get the ground around here to match what we already have for the rest of our base area here. So, yeah, so I'm going to get to work on that. I don't think there's any way I can make this jump. Oh, look at that. I can make it. Yeah, so I'm going to lay a few things out and probably get to work on... I don't know. I'm going to have to wait and see what strikes my fancy. So I'll bring you guys back in a little bit. Welcome back, everyone. So I have rerouted the wall around the area for our new pavilion, cleared everything out, and did the base layer of replacing it with andesite. And then we have a little bit of a ramp that is going to lead up to our entrance. And then over here, I have marked out where I want the show portion of the building to be with the stone bricks here. And yeah, and so we're going to work from there. So I've been going back and forth on what I want to do. So what still needs to be done is I need to terraform this area out here, get rid of these ponds, just kind of clean all of this up so that it looks good. I have this whole hillside over here that I need to terraform, and what I think that I'm going to do is I think that I'm actually going to flatten all the way back to here, and then I'm going to kind of curve this around and then have it meet up with the hillside over here. So that is the plan there. That is a lot of work, and quite frankly, more than I have time for tonight. Also, I was looking at, what I wanted to do about the river here, and I'm still undecided, but I'm leaning towards wanting to reroute the river, and that requires clearing lots of trees and lots of terraforming over here, so that's also not happening in this episode. So I think what I want to do is I want to get the building here to a point of being done. And so what that means is I need to build up the walls here, and then I need to put a roof on a large portion of this area, apart from, the greenhouse areas that I'll just need to cap off somehow. So I think what I'm going to focus the rest of this episode on is getting the show building done. And this is not nearly, I mean, it's a big build, but it's not nearly as complicated as it would seem, because basically I'm going to use two colors. I'm going to use green terracotta and regular terracotta. Disney is very good at making you not see things that are in plain sight. They have a color that they paint their buildings and certain things called go away green. And it's a color that just kind of disappears. Well, in Minecraft, green terracotta kind of just disappears once you work it in. So the plan is to do the lower area of the wall in green, and then I was looking at pictures that I took when I was last at Epcot, and it's kind of an orangish, brownish color, so I think the regular terracotta will be fine for that. And then we're basically just going to cover the outside with lots of trees and greenery so that you kind of can't tell it's there. So I need to go gather a whole bunch of terracotta and get building. So I'm going to work on that. I will bring you guys back when that is done. That awkward moment where you start recording a clip saying, "The thing is done!" And then you turn around and you find out that, in fact, the thing was not done. You still had like 9 stacks of blocks to place. The thing is done. For real this time. So I have finished the show building to our Land Pavilion. And I did not expect to finish this part over here, but I got going on it and just got it in my head that I needed to finish it. That was a lot of glass. But yeah, so here is our building complete. Now, obviously, I said there's terraforming that needs to be done around the edges of this, so I was not messing with that. And not only is it nighttime, it starts to rain, and this is really hard to see in the rain. So let's fly around, have a snooze, and see this in the light of day. Continuing, if I may, in a calm, rain-free way, our building is all taken care of. Now, I was debating whether or not to rip this stone layer out, but it's actually protecting our note block song over there in places, so I've decided to leave this for the terraforming portion of the build. But, yeah, so this is all done. The roof is all finished. I'd like to do some detailing on the roof. Just use the stone brick slabs because they're spawn-proof, which is nice. But, learned a lot since I did the roof of this thing over here. And there needs to be stuff on top of the roof. There needs to be HVAC equipment and things like that. So I will definitely have to add that in. But yeah, several different layers to the roof here so that all of our interior is properly taken care of. Yeah, and apparently I can't get up there. Not going to be able to get up there either. Yeah, but so we have the dome of the entryway here, and we have the interior. Yeah, and there's a lot of dead space behind this, so we'll make use of that with some various different farms and storage and things. I've got some ideas as to how we can work this out, and we'll probably use part of this building anyway. But that is a project for another day. So guys, I think that is going to do it for this episode. If you enjoyed, please be sure to give it a like and share it with your friends. If you haven't already, I would encourage you to subscribe and make sure you click that little notification bell so you can stay up to date on all my latest posts. Be sure to follow me on social media. Thanks for watching. See you real soon.